So is this the beginning of something new for Matterport, or is this the beginning of the end of Matterport? This is Terry with Trusted Beard Media, and let's have a conversation about it. So some of you may be asking, what in the world is Matterport? Most of you know, because most of my audience is real estate agents, but for those who don't, it's a 3D virtual tour software, interactive, immersive is what they call it, where you can walk through a property that's up for sale. It was recently bought, as a little bit of backstory, it was recently bought out by a company called CoStar, who also owns, I think it's Land and Homes Magazine and a few other publications like that. Presumably they were trying to step into the world of competing with Zillow. So they were bought out. It was closed on sometime, I think, back in March, $1.6 billion. Yes, billion. Right about that time, I don't know if it's before or after, CoStar is the name of the company that bought them. They went into litigation with Zillow. I don't know if Zillow sued them or they sued Zillow. Doesn't matter. But this week, Zillow said, hey, we're going to pull all the Matterport tours off of the Zillow website. Apparently, CoStar didn't renew the API, which is the protocol used for communications between different softwares and different websites and that kind of stuff. They didn't renew it with Zillow. And they apparently changed their terms of service agreement where it's disallowed to use them on any competing website. Well, that's the definition of Zillow. They compete with CoStar, with Matterport and CoStar. So Zillow says, hey, well, we've got to take it off. Of course, there was probably a little bit of litigious spite going on as well. But anyways, that's between them. I don't care. So with it off of Zillow, that is a whole bunch of people who will not see those virtual tours, because Zillow is kind of the place people go to when they're starting to look for a home. So what's happened is of course, CoStar is unhappy about it, and that's understandable. So I've actually had some issues with Matterport for some time now, for more than a year. And I've been watching different technologies, trying to find something that I could use as a good alternative. We're probably never going to stop using Matterport, but there are some alternatives that I think are better. One in particular is based on a floor plan. So basically what it does is it takes a floor plan of the property and all of the photos, the interior and a few of the exterior photos, and ties those together. So what you do is, as a user, from the user standpoint, they go in and they can either scroll through the photos, and every photo that pops up, it shows on the floor plan where that photo was taken and what angle and all that stuff. So that photo taken here on this floor plan at that angle. Or you can go to the floor plan and click on the different camera icons, and it'll pop up the photo. So it's really pretty cool. And of course, the floor plan has a lot of other, you get a full floor plan with this. It stops the problem of getting lost in the model. That's one of the common things with Matterport is users, they get lost in a room and can't figure out how to get out. Or it wasn't shot properly and you can't get out. So anyways, like I said, I've had some issues with Matterport for a while. I've been watching some technologies. There are a few others that are, as I'm watching them mature, there may be some other opportunities for some different looks. There is one that's really, really nice, but it increases my time of stitching it together tremendously. To me, it's not usable for the kind of process that I intend to charge you guys to do it. It would just be way too expensive. By the way, the new floor plan based ones, it's called Home Tour on my website. Just look it up. There's two versions of it depending on the size of the house. They charge me differently for large houses. So, some of the other technologies may be coming along, and hopefully we'll move on to something else too, or at least have a couple of different alternatives. As I said before, we're probably not going to stop doing Matterport. We're not going to do as much of it because I think it's a losing proposition for realtors who are trying to show properties, because if it's not shown on Zillow, and presumably never will be shown on Zillow again, they may get through it and come to some kind of agreement, but who knows? So to answer the question, is it the end of Matterport or the beginning of something new? I really don't know. I think with the investment that they've made, $1.6 billion, they're going to figure out some way to use that thing, and they're going to come to some kind of agreement. Is it going to hurt Matterport? Yeah, it's going to hurt them a lot. I don't think it's the beginning of something new for them. I think it's just another nail in a coffin that may or may not completely close. I don't know. I just know that some of the issues I've had with Matterport in the recent year and a half, it's getting a little bit worse, and I don't see that changing. I'll put a link to one of those tours below this video so you can go take a look at it, and I think you're going to like what you see. So there you have it. Love to hear your thoughts on the new home tour I have on my website. Also would love to hear what you think about this upset in the virtual tour world. I'd like to know what y'all think about it. Again, this is Terry, and you guys have an awesome day.